Let's get started. We got a normal lesson today. Quick little 3 slides of notes, 2 small readings, 1 medium-sized reading, and then the exit slip is like normal. So let's get into it. Students be able to evaluate how the Nazis used media and violence to accomplish their goals. And that's what we're going to be looking at today. So not long after gaining power, Hitler and the Nazi Party began on their mission to create a new German empire. You might see in readings the term Third Reich. Reich is the German word for empire, and this is planning on being the third of the German empires that have existed throughout history. And they wanted this one to last 1,000 years. It lasted 12, so not quite. They also wanted to rid Germany of all those people who they considered outsiders or unwanted. These are mainly people of the Jewish faith, people who are foreigners, people who are just different than what's considered the normal German. They started very quickly. I think it was only 2 years after they gained power in the government. They passed what's called the Nuremberg Laws, which are anti-Semitic laws. They strip Jews of a lot of their rights and privileges. They can no longer marry non-Jews. They can no longer have citizenship in Germany. They had to wear these special patches that we see here, these women here having to wear them to signify that they were Jewish, and they had to have special papers whenever they went out. Things are going to get worse. This is just in the beginning. Eventually, they'll be moved out of their homes and kind of put into like special parts of town, which are known as ghettos. And then eventually we're going to talk about the Holocaust later after the war. So not only did Hitler want to correct what they felt was the injustices of the Treaty of Versailles, which he's got a point with that. I mean, that we talked about that treaty and how it kind of put a lot of the blame, all the blame on Germany, which probably wasn't fair. But he wanted to also control all of Europe. So he's going to create an alliance with Benito Mussolini, as well as the Emperor of Japan. So now we have an alliance between those 3 very strong countries, all with similar goals of conquest and superiority. And we call this alliance the Axis powers. So one of the very clear signs that things were turning against the Jewish people in Germany, is an event called Kristallnacht, which was just talked about in the news following the Capitol riots. So Kristallnacht it translates to the Night of Broken Glass, and what this was an orchestrated attack by the secret police, the Nazi secret police called the SS. And they attacked the Jewish parts of town, the Jewish businesses, homes, things like that. 90 Jewish people were killed, 3,000 were arrested, and we're going to see the destruction of upwards of 7,000 businesses and homes and things like that, things that are burned to the ground. And if you Google Kristallnacht, you'll see like tons of not great pictures because of the quality and stuff. And this is 1938, so the pictures aren't as good as like the iPhone 5. 10? What are we up to? 15? And this is going to mark the beginning of what's called Hitler's final solution. And final solution is his plan basically to rid Germany and probably the world, if he got his way, of Jewish people. So we're going to see how this eventually escalates into what you probably learned about already, called the Holocaust. So the readings today have to do with the idea of media, which kind of really connects to present day, specifically social media. But this is, there's no phones, there's no social media, so we have things like newspapers, movies, things like that. So that's what you're going to be looking at and reading. It's very quick little articles, not primary sources, so it should read very easily. And one word that you may wish to include in your exit slip is this word propaganda. Propaganda is a great word. It's basically media that has an agenda. It's not just trying to give you the facts, it's trying to give you the facts, or maybe half facts, in a way that make you think a certain way. So I like the quintessential idea of media is like, these are the facts, you make up your mind on them. Propaganda has that agenda of like, we want you to think what we want you to think. So we're going to see things throughout Nazi Germany, as well as we're going to talk about the Soviet Union tomorrow, things that make the leaders look fantastic and things that make people who they don't want to look fantastic don't look fantastic. Cool. All right. That'll be it. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.